Hello and welcome to One Storyteller, where we are in one story. It is being told to us. That was a really good introduction. I'm Reagan.
I'm Andrew.
There you go. It worked. I hit him with something just a moment ago, and he's still recovering in shock from how funny I was.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Classic. It happens all the time, so don't worry about it. It's a standard operating procedure around here. So we've got chapters 4 and 5 today, or at least theoretically. We'll see. By the way, if you nod at me, they can't.
No, I know.
see.
I just didn't need to say anything.
Cool. Well, he's a lot more reactive in person. It's just sometimes it doesn't translate into audio occasionally. So theoretically, we're doing Fellowship of the Ring chapters 4 and 5, a shortcut to mushrooms, and also the
A conspiracy unmasked.
that one. Yeah, I forgot. It's on my other page. These are both shorter chapters. The two of these together add up to about the same length as chapter 2
Right.
or 3 or 1, for that matter. And so we're going to put these together, and I think we can just group them all together and talk about all of it. We'll see.
think
If
so.
it goes over long, then we can cut it somewhere, but I don't think we will.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
All right. Do you have anything in particular going into chapters 4 or 5 that you want to bring out, focus on, that stood out to you? Do you like these chapters? I know you really liked chapter 2. Are these particularly special to you?
I do. These chapters go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why they're two different chapters. I feel like they could just be one.
yeah, I think there's enough difference in focus. I can see why he split them. But yeah, you're right. When you observed together, they're like the other chapters we're looking at.
Yeah.
In length, I mean.
Yeah.
I really like it though, because this is they're actually here on the threshold of their adventure.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. They might even journey somewhere.
It's interesting
A little
because there's little bits of journey, but throughout the Fellowship of the Ring, you just come to these different threshold points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's not much to say about...
Because Rivendell is one of the more obvious ones.
Mm-hmm.
You completed a legit adventure,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the adventure.
Yeah.
Like
That was a one
you still
shot.
have to sit out from Rivendell for your
Yeah.
actual quest.
Yeah.
So this is one of the first moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these are basically the journey from Bag End to Frodo's new home, whatever that's called, over in Crick Hollow.
Yeah, that's
fun
right.
fact, the first Lord of the Rings online server I ever played in was Crick Hollow.
Oh wow!
They're shutting it down this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Rip.
sad.
They're migrating over to different servers, so rip Crick Hollow, forever in my heart. If it's still around. I haven't played Lord of the Rings online in a while. Anyway, that's why I know what Crick Hollow is.
Interesting. Okay.
So this is the first actual journey portion that they've gone on. I guess technically chapter 3 was a little bit of a journey. They were walking across a field.
Yeah. 3 with Three's Company, Shortcut to Mushrooms, and Conspiracy Unmasked all kind of go together.
Yeah. So because chapter 4 picks up right after the elves leave.
Yeah.
And goes on from there until they arrive at Frodo's house, which is chapter 4, and then they have a conversation in Frodo's house, which is chapter 5, and then they'll leave again, but that's chapter 6. So, yeah, we'll walk through it bit by bit, and then we'll go through and raise a variety of random points. I have a lot to say on Farmer Maggot, but
yes. Oh, what a guy!
He's curious. I'm very curious about him. So, first thing that happens in the chapter, everybody wakes up. Right, it's like a night of Mafia, and then everybody wakes up,
Sure.
and everything's changed. Elves are gone.
Yep.
Pippin is unworried about the
Very.
Black Riders,
Yeah.
or just obsessed with the beer at the inn, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But for some reason, all of his thoughts of danger are gone.
Yeah.
Might make him a little bit of an idiot. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just really reinforcing this naive characterization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which he tries to fight. We'll see that in chapter 5, I guess, because he tries to pretend to know more than he's about. But yeah, he's kind of just an idiot, I think, even though he wants to be better. So Frodo's quite worried. Sam doesn't really interact with people. Sam keeps pretty quiet in these chapters.
Yeah.
Is that something that's going to continue?
I think
I think of him as more of a character, but I'm not sure if that's just because
No, he
Two Towers
is.
and
like
Return of the King.
once it boils down to like Frodo, Sam, and Gollum,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a lot more
Okay.
like dialogue.
Okay.
Here he's competing with other characters,
Yeah.
and usually, like Frodo is this pretty wealthy hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
Pippin and Merry are both relatives, and they're also like they're a cut above the average hobbit.
Yeah.
But Sam is like the actual normal guy. Like
Yeah.
he is just a gardener.
Yeah.
So I think he recognizes that, and he just
enough.
doesn't speak up as often as these other people.
Fair enough. Or he's not comfortable with it or something.
Yeah,
I don't.
something like that.
Yeah. He knows Frodo. He's like watching for Frodo. He's watching for cues from Frodo.
He does.
Essentially, because he already knows. Frodo, I mean, the first thing Frodo says is essentially, I don't want to involve my friends in this. I want to, I'm just going to do this by myself. And Sam says, sure, and I'll be there too.
Yes,
Which
it's
is,
so great.
so it's not like Sam's not a character. It's just he's not a vocal character,
Yeah.
or at least not much.
Yeah, not as often as Frodo, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of the most striking things in this chapter.
Yeah.
Is Frodo's very guilty. He's like, man, I shouldn't take anybody. This is a terrible adventure. I might die.
He's right.
I don't want my friends to die. He says, I shouldn't even take Sam. And he sees Sam, loyally packing things up. He says, Sam, what do you think about this quest? Sam's like, I'm going on it with you. And Sam, you can see like he has, this kind of goes to what you were saying about him taking cues. Later, Frodo and Pippin are going to talk about, should we take the road or take the shortcut?
Yeah.
And, we'll talk about this some more, but Frodo says, we were both right. And I think that's a good summary of it, is like, the shortcut isn't really a shortcut, but they needed to take it, or else they would have gotten murked.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But like, what I was thinking for Sam is, even when they're leaving Bag End, he was saying goodbye to the beer in the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a hobbit's hobbit. He wants to go to the inn and drink. And he feels sad when Frodo says, we're not going to go that way. But he's like,
But he also doesn't complain.
Yeah, he doesn't complain like Pippin probably would if he just says, sounds good to me.
Pippin's Pippin is advocating for something different than what Frodo wants, and Sam is willing to shelve what he wants in service of what Frodo wants.
Exactly.
Which is wonderful. Sam is really cool. I like Sam.
He's great.
Sam also expresses something about the elves, which is curious. He says essentially, Frodo asks him if he likes the elves, and Sam says,
"Oh, I knew you would bring this out. I knew
don't
you would.
really know. Like, I don't not like the elves, but I don't like the elves. Essentially, it doesn't matter like what I think about them. They just are the way they are, and they're like almost. He expresses it as like a higher form of being. They're on like a different level of existence.
That is a good summary. Yeah.
He can't really be the judge of them.
It's like they're a bit above my likes and dislikes, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it doesn't really matter what I think. They just are. Mm-hmm. And so he's content with that, and he's cool with that, and he's interested in seeing more than that. I don't know, maybe that's why I don't like them, because they are just like a different kind of being that I can't really quantify exactly.
They are like really, really different.
Yeah. And so pictures of the divine or like parts of him or like whatever, however that works. We'll have to read the Silmarillion at some point, I guess.
Yeah. And there'll be parts even in this book where maybe we can talk about that some more.
But he's just like kind of uncomfortable, but also that's okay. Mm-hmm. And that's a nice place to be at, I guess.
Yeah. And this is like one of the first marks where we see Sam is like, his motivations are changing. Yeah. At first he's like, okay. Like, and none of them really grasp the danger. Not even Frodo does.
No.
Sam doesn't. But one of the big reasons he was happy about going is, I'll see elves. Mm-hmm. He's like, and characters have like this strange ability to like see the future, even though they don't really.
A little bit, yeah.
Because Sam says, I have something to do before the end. So I have to keep going and do it. Mm-hmm. Which he will.
Absolutely.
So it's that kind of like foresight or sense of purpose that characters have at different moments.
Yeah.
But it's not just the elves now. He's seen the elves. He's like, okay, that's not why I came.
Yeah.
Like, it was interesting. They're way out of my league.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm here.
Yeah. He has the idea in his head to go, and he ascribes it to wanting to see elves, and then he sees them and he's like,
That's not the end of my story.
That wasn't really it. Like, that wasn't satisfying. I want something more than that.
Yeah.
And so he's going to continue on, and good, because he will be very useful.
Yes.
Maybe
one more thing to say about the elves.
Yeah.
I think is interesting is last chapter, 3 is company.
Yes.
We see Frodo's discussion with the elves, particularly with Gildor.
Yeah.
But here we find out Sam was talking with the elves the same time. Or at least, around the same time.
Yeah.
And the elves were saying, don't leave Frodo. He needs people to go with him.
Yes. And he's not going to want people to go with him.
Yeah. But Sam already had Gandalf tell him. Now people are saying, stay loyal to Frodo.
Yeah.
It's it really is this really neat setup for all these really beautiful moments of loyalty we'll see later.
Yeah. As we go throughout, Sam is going to be the best of them. He was the first, and he's the best. The others will be. I'll bring this up even later on in chapter 5. I think.
Oh yes.
The others will be with him, somewhat, but Sam's the only one who sticks it out.
Yeah.
Not really because of their own faults, but that's just how the story ends up.
Yeah.
He is the best of them. He is the best support there is, and so that's kind of key to his character. It helps that he doesn't really have that much of a defined personality outside of that, or is not super headstrong himself. Not initiating these different
He's a
avenues.
follower.
Yeah. He's a follower, and that's all right. So they do decide to cut through the woods
just in time.
Ultimately, get away from the inn. It's going to delay Pippin too long, and so Frodo says, "Fine, we're going down the shortcut, which is not a shortcut."
Yeah, shortcuts make long delays, but inns make longer ones. That's a fun turn of phrase.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's true. That Pippin just being unserious about it, but following after Frodo.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure. Pippin may be an idiot, but at least he's willing to listen to other people
most of the time. Yeah.
A little bit, sometimes. And so that is very effective for them here. Anything else on them, like getting packed up before they actually go on their trip?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have anything to say about the trip that they actually go on?
Not really. They're just wrestling through brambles and stuff. It's sort of a soft foreshadowing of them in the forest in a couple chapters.
Yeah.
Because they're also in a forest here.
Yeah.
But it's not the forest.
Yeah. This is not a nefarious forest.
It's showing that things are getting tougher, but no. I don't really have much more to say about things until they get to Farmer Maggot.
Yeah. You already mentioned the Frodo's shortcut was not short.
No.
But Pippin's road would have killed them.
Yes, it would
have. The other thing is the one who actually spots the rider is Sam.
Yes, yeah.
And so it's only by all three of them actually putting in their input that they come to a decent realization of their situation. Friends are cool. Friends are useful.
A threefold cord is not easily broken.
It's something like that. Maybe Ecclesiastes was onto something. Yeah. And so that's their trip. They see the rider behind them, and then they just go faster down the stream. They kind of get lost back and forth several times.
They're not good adventurers.
No.
They barely make it out of this really tiny shortcut.
Might help explain or give them motivation to follow an actual, adventurer tracker later on in a few chapters. Yeah. Maybe Frodo realizes they're not as competent as they think they are. Although out of all 4 of the hobbits who will end up going, Merry is really the one who is the most.
Yeah, and we'll start seeing him in the next chapter.
Yeah. He's the competent one.
Yeah, I like how well defined all the hobbits are.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. Frodo is the leader, Sam is the follower, Pippin is the stupid, and Merry actually does stuff.
Yeah.
So it's simple, but it's effective, and they're different people. They're not just 4 reskins of the same basic prototype. Hobbits can be a little bit different. So as they're going, there is this constant theme of seeking shelter in the woods or in the shadows or even in the ring, or like just anything to get you out of direct light, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it seems like light is the only thing deterring the rider. And so the shadows are helping Frodo hide, but they're also helping his pursuer hide as well.
There's definitely a tension going on.
Yeah, it's almost like it would be better for them to just walk through a sunny field. And like the rider would see them, but he might not chase them.
Almost.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would, but like that's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely like they're able to get some help from hiding in the darkness, but it's like they're kind of guests there. It's not just like a clear cut trump card, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, well, darkness keeps bringing problems to them.
That's true.
Right. Every time it gets dark, the book is like, wow, it's dark. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be there. That's not a positive thing. And so it's like they should just get in the light and bite the bullet and do it, but they don't. There might be a good reason for that. There might not be, but it's just interesting. I'm not really sure what it means. It's just in my head.
Yeah. Well, later they'll find a letter from Gandalf that will say, "Don't travel at night."
Yeah, interesting. That would help.
Yeah,
that would help them do it. So, yeah, they are protected by shadows, but the shadows also hide the enemies.
Yeah.
So maybe don't rely on that which is suboptimal. Instead, they should be.
That's interesting.
Aiming for something else. It reminds me of here's a Bible passage to throw in there. God is light, and in him the darkness is not at all. Is the Hamilton translation of 1 John 1 or whatever that is. It would be a lot better if they just walked out in the field. When they do walk out in the field, they are nervous about it, but also it's the one time they don't actually see the rider.
That's interesting.
Which is curious.
Yeah, we'll have to keep seeing how that's developed.
It's every time they're in the woods, and then right as they cross over at night with Mary, they look back and they see a shadow. Mm-hmm. But the one time they're in the field, the rider isn't mentioned.
Interesting.
So, curious. I'm keeping that one in mind. So, that gets them. So they're navigating not well.
No.
They end up in Maggot's field. Farmer Maggot. Interesting name.
Very interesting.
Is there a reason, like...
It feels sort of unhobbity, and I think that might be the point.
Okay, interesting. That would make sense.
It's very different from all the Hobbit names we've seen so far.
Yeah. It's not a very nice thing. A maggot is not exactly a positive.
No, it's not. No. Yeah. But he turns out to be, rough on the outside, but with a heart of gold,
Yeah. Give me your thoughts on Maggot. You've been talking about
first.
Maggot back and forth.
Well, you just read it in the chapter that this is close. Maggot's field, his farm, is really close to where Frodo grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we find out some Frodo childhood information.
Yeah. His backstory. His dark backstory.
Which he stole mushrooms when he was a kid. Like over and over, apparently. Like he's like, I could just get some mushrooms. Like he's kind of a little impish guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Maggot has these 3 dogs, like a wolf Fang and another one I don't remember the name of.
I'm looking it up. I mean, I'm just recalling it.
They're these big dogs, and eventually he finds Frodo. It's probably over. There's been a lot that Frodo's been trespassing.
Grip, Fang, and Wolf.
And Maggot terrifies Frodo. He sets his dogs on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of
as
the
a child.
Yes.
That's important. As a child.
Yeah.
So Frodo is like, he's still dealing with.
And Frodo will say it later. And I think it's one of the most interesting dynamics as far as like Frodo is concerned with Maggot.
Yeah.
Is Maggot represents like. Oh, I don't want to get like too deep.
He's an allegory for what?
But no, not an allegory. But it's like
just represent.
Maggot's this nice guy, but Frodo started on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
And never comes clean with him or tries to like have a different kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Because he's terrified of what happened, which is all like his negative instigation of things.
Yeah.
And Frodo will say later, I'm ashamed that I've been terrified of you for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And I could have had a great friend.
And now I'll have to leave and never see you again.
It sounds really silly. And
Yeah.
I'm sure Frodo feels very silly as he's saying this.
Well, of course.
But it's like...
That is how it goes.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't want to like admit or follow up
Mm-hmm.
on this. He feels embarrassed, ashamed, and scared of this all like knotted together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this guilt he has over
Yeah.
his actions and that led to consequences, justified consequences,
Yeah.
but it has all worked itself in his mind to be some like a barrier between him and Maggot,
Mhm.
essentially, even trying to reconcile or trying to apologize. Because Maggot knows,
Yeah.
and he brings it up like,
And-
yeah, I know who you are.
And he doesn't really care anymore.
Yeah. It's fine.
Which is the sad but beautiful thing about the interaction.
He wanted Frodo to stop, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like,
And when Frodo
maybe you
wouldn't
should
stop,
stop
fine.
stealing my mushrooms.
Yeah. He terrified him with the dogs, but that wasn't.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting
Mhm.
though is once they're like on friendly terms and invited into his house,
Yeah.
you probably got more mushrooms than you ever did stealing them.
Yes, he did. And even the gift, the parting gift at the end
Exactly.
is just a full basket of them
Yeah.
to make up for it.
Yeah.
So-
It's very interesting.
Yeah. He could have had the same amount of mushrooms had he just asked
Yeah.
instead of taken.
Isn't that interesting?
Hmm.
I think it's
Curious.
neat that we just saw like Frodo's incompetence with the shortcut. Like they needed to do it, but
Yeah.
they waffle the whole situation.
Yeah.
And here is Frodo feeling guilty about something, grand scheme of things. Like here we are on an adventure against the Dark Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, I feel terrified of this guy I stole mushrooms from, and I'm very guilty.
Yeah.
It's like very silly.
And terrified
But
to the point of like, there's a rider behind me, but there's Maggot in front of me,
Right, he
and I
even
don't know
phrases
which
it
to
like
go.
that. He's like, he almost says like out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, oh no, the Nazgul.
This-
Well, he just says the
this is-
Black Riders. The
this
Black
is the
Riders are
worst
after us, but
thing.
now we're in Farmer Maggot's field. Yeah.
Those are some big
But
dogs 30 years ago.
Well,
Or
yeah.
whatever
Well,
they were.
especially if you're a hobbit.
Yeah. Especially if you're a kid hobbit. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
True.
But it just shows, I think, some of like Frodo's continued like naivety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a growing moment for him.
He is still kind of a kid.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be,
Mm-hmm.
but he is. And he is working his way into adulthood, taking the first steps by, moving out, selling his house, etc., packing
Oh
up.
yeah, that's
but
interesting. Those
he-
are like growing steps, aren't they?
Yeah, like moving on from
Mhm.
where you grew up and moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
But he since Bilbo moved him from where he grew up, he never had an opportunity to face the past and like reconcile with it.
Yeah.
So
It's really
this is
interesting.
part of his fixing it. It is interesting to me that Frodo, out of all of the origin stories Tolkien could have given Frodo, it's him as a burglar.
Oh, interesting.
So, right, Bilbo spent 50 years and then was taken out of his house to go become a burglar. Frodo started as a burglar, and then he was taken into Bag End to stop being one.
Interesting.
Almost. And so,
I had not thought about that.
yeah, well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I just write some stuff sometimes. And so it's like, it continues the theme of him being very much like Bilbo, but also very much the opposite of Bilbo. And like, I don't know what you do with that, but that is the backstory Tolkien decided to give. And I
Yeah.
can't imagine that was entirely accidental.
Probably not.
He's just stealing stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Maggot's very interesting when Frodo ends up meeting him. Pippin does introduce Frodo.
Yeah, this is like a good moment for Pippin.
Yes.
It's like
One
it's
of
like
his
Frodo,
few.
you're being an idiot. This is a great guy.
Yeah.
It's something where I'm sure there's some people Pippin is scared to like go to their houses, probably
Absolutely.
seeing the kind of
Probably
guy
for
Pippin is.
good reason.
But he does serve as this bridge and diplomat with a
Mhm.
situation that might have taken a little longer to get off if he hadn't been there.
He may be silly, but he's not worthless.
Yeah,
There is hope.
he's a personable fellow.
He is. He's just a person.
Yeah.
So, has his good moments, has his bad moments. He does. So he does introduce the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
He does. Here's the bad moment. He does introduce Frodo as Mr. Baggins to Maggot, which is the name that Gandalf said he shouldn't use.
Frodo may not have done that.
No, which Pippin doesn't know, right? And so not intentional, but this is, as soon as he says the name Baggins, it says Maggot got really inquisitive and said, isn't that interesting? Why don't we come inside? And he grabs Frodo and drags him inside.
Yeah.
And at that moment, it's no longer really like a friendly meeting. It's like, okay, we have a purpose here. There's a bigger problem that you need to be aware of.
It turns out, I think, to be a good thing.
It is a blessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it does show maybe he doesn't grasp the gravity of the whole situation.
Well, for Pippin, yes, but again, he doesn't know that anything with the name is associated with it. Frodo's the only one who knows that, and maybe Sam. Maybe Sam would have overheard that. But in using the name, people recognize the name.
Yeah.
Right. And it's Frodo is trying to get rid of it, get rid of the name along with Bag End, along with everything else that Bilbo ever gave him, along with the ring. Ultimately, he's trying to get rid of that legacy, but the name keeps following him, and his reputation precedes him. There's a Black Rider who's out looking for him, using that name, heading off to Hobbiton because of that, or rather just riding around the area, inquisiting all these different people. And so it's like Baggins becomes this problem word because Bilbo gave it to Gollum all the way back in the day, and Sauron got it from Gollum, and Sauron passed it to his servants. The name is following him, and it is hanging over his head.
Interesting.
The sins of the father do impact the child, even when it's not
the
child's fault.
That's kind of the whole Gollum situation we read about in chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just
it's a good name though. It's good, but yeah, there's some problems cropping up.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing. I mean, the name is fine.
Yeah.
But there are still problems associated with it.
Yes.
He is trying to differentiate himself and like get away from it, essentially. Underhill and move to Crick Hollow and everything else, like a rejection of the old identity. And yet that old identity just kind of hangs on and follows after him, even though he doesn't want it to. It's interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
There's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there. I have a couple other things about Maggot in general. So Maggot is a help in trouble, even though he punishes wickedness.
Yes.
That's curious, kind of cool. He has justice, but he also has mercy.
Yeah.
And so if I were to describe him, I would just say he's a righteous individual.
Yeah.
And I think like him.
Good. Yeah. He's also he's got some mettle. Like he's a brave guy.
Yeah.
Like he's got his... Well, he didn't even have his dogs there. I'm thinking about when he recounts the story of the Nazgul coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's honest to whoever the questioner is, but when he gets a bad vibe from him, he stops. He's he's not forthcoming with information.
Before I set my dogs on you.
Yeah, and turns out they're scared anyway. But so he's just this hobbit. He's mouthing off to a Nazgul.
He is. Might be a reason for that. We find out in chapter 7, I guess. But
yeah, he's a tough guy.
He is, and he volunteers to drive them out to the ferry, which he does not have to do.
No, which is risking himself and even a couple of his sons who go along with him.
He did more than enough just giving them dinner and then warning them.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do any of it. They were trespassing.
Yeah, right? And it's for Frodo, this guy he hasn't met in 30 years.
Yeah.
He says, I get this insurance some trouble, and I'd like to help you out.
Yeah.
He's just a very upstanding person.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to know all the details.
No.
He just is like, okay, let's do it.
He's checking every box for being a great guy.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool.
He's respecting privacy and...
Very godly.
Yes.
Very interesting. Very interesting. He drives them out to the ferry. They meet Mary there.
Yes.
Mary freaks them out a little bit.
There's a guy on a horse.
Yeah. And as they heard his voice, they realized that the shadow was not actually that big, or whatever the line was.
Yeah.
But
it's Mary.
Yeah. Mary is also unaware of everything that's going on.
What is happening?
But they end up meeting up with him. And so Maggot leaves them with some mushrooms. Do you have anything else on
Yeah.
chapter.
I think only small thing to bring out is like, I'm just keeping a tally on this. It keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pippin fell asleep in the wagon. Here they are in this dangerous situation.
Okay.
Pippin falls asleep.
So he's like Peter, James, and John.
Yeah. So we just see him like sleepy. I mean, and just sort of unconcerned. Yeah. Just like furthering that characterization we're seeing of him.
Granted, fair, a little bit, kind of fair.
If you're bundled up in a wagon, it'd probably be easy to fall asleep.
Yeah. Very late at night after having traveled very far under duress and not having all your proper meals.
In contrast, Sam takes a lot of initiative here.
Yeah.
He says, Frodo, go all the way down. And when there's a rider, he jumps up out of the wagon to go up with Maggot.
Yeah. So the rider would have to go
and the whole
through
time,
him.
And the whole time Pippin is just asleep.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting.
Curious. Sam is a lot more reliable, I think, than Pippin is.
Yeah.
Rip Pippin, or Peregrine.
Yeah.
That's a great name. Pippin it is. So, yeah, I mean, all of them are pretty just fascinating people. And Pippin will hopefully improve. I'm excited to see him become less of who he is right now. He's a little out of it right now.
You can tell, like, with later stuff, is like, he's like really smart. And that might be one of the reasons he's so lazy.
I guess that would do it. People do have a tendency to do that. There is a brief conversation where at the very end of chapter 4, where Maggot is like bidding them farewell, essentially, and he says something about the journey not being over, which is very interesting. He said, "Oh, all's well that ends well, although, well, I shouldn't say that yet until I get back to my house."
Yes.
Right, because your journey doesn't end until you get to your door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Rip Frodo, right? Because he doesn't have Bag End, and also his house is not.
This is not the actual stop.
Yeah, even when he gets to Crick Hollow, his first thought when he gets there in chapter 5 is like, "Wow, you guys put a lot of effort into something that I'm leaving the very night that I arrived there." And so Frodo's journey is far from over.
I like that. That's very poetic.
Yeah.
I hadn't picked up on that.
Maggot does not know what he's like. Doesn't know everything.
There's
he's
a lot
saying
of things
there,
like that.
But it's interesting.
Does forbid the journey will continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, home is rest, and everything outside is work. And Frodo does not have the rest right now, and will not for another 500 something pages, 600 pages,
something like that,
whatever that ends up being. So that's chapter 4. Do you have anything else on 4?
Just like you're getting some scarier pictures of the Nazgul. So far they've just like interrogated or sniffed around. You heard them screaming in this chapter. So
that was done very quietly
is
for the benefit of headphone users.
Oh my goodness. It was this horrible shrieking sound. Like no hobbit has a voice like that, they say. It's not a bird. And Frodo says there were words on it. Though I couldn't make them out. It's
I don't know what they are. Yeah.
That's just scary.
Yeah.
And then in Maggot's story, the Nazgul actually, this is the first time we hear about a Nazgul Black Rider trying to kill somebody because it tried to run Maggot over with his horse.
Yeah. I guess you could imply that that's probably what's going to happen when you meet
obviously
one of those,
he could have killed Maggot if he really wanted to.
Yes.
But he tried to there.
Yes.
So it's like we're learning a bit more about them.
Yeah.
Slowly.
They are getting slightly more aggressive and agitated and as the story goes on.
Yeah.
Which is a bad sign for our 4 little friends, as we call them. So you get into chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Which is essentially Frodo gets home pretty quickly. He arrives home in like the 4th page of the chapter and then just kind of hangs out at home for the next 10 pages, and that's the whole chapter.
Conversation is the main thing going on here.
So
and
again,
it's good.
It's a conversation. It's interesting. It's interesting. I honestly don't have that much to say in the conversation.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure I will say a lot, but like,
we'll see.
This is only a page and a half, or a page and 3/4 instead of 2 pages.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty short.
Those are rookie numbers, right?
Yes, it is. You only have a paragraph, and it's a paragraph of bullet points, so I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Thank
Go ahead.
So the first thing that happens in this chapter, the Brandy Bucks are introduced.
Yeah, you have like this little history bit.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating.
Yes.
And also, I was right. Thank you very much. From chapter 1, when Lobelia Saxville Baggins says, "You're not a Baggins, you're a Brandy Buck."
Uh-huh.
And I said, that's the first indication that Frodo doesn't belong here. And you said, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll stand by that, but
Yeah.
continue.
No, it is, because the entire thing about the Brandy Bucks they are not normal hobbits. They live in a different country.
Mm-hmm.
They live in
I
a
see what you're
different
saying.
colony.
Yeah.
It's got
Very
different
separate.
architecture,
Mm-hmm.
very different. They know how to swim,
Mm-hmm.
or a lot of them do.
Yeah.
They enjoy boating. They lock their doors at night. They have dogs. People along the border, like Farmer Maggot and the Brandy Bucks, they will keep dogs in case of strangers. Like these guys also, we learn from either later in this chapter or the next chapter, they fought a war with the trees.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, next chapter.
so the label of Brandy Buck is essentially saying, you're not a real hobbit.
Okay, I see.
Yes. And so
Alright.
I think there's merit to that, because Merry is the adventurous one who's been into the forest. He's like roamed far and wide, which is not normal hobbit behavior. Lobelia saying that is essentially, you don't belong here, go back to where you came from. And then as it's explained to us, the Brandy Bucks are actually just like very different and kind of what the hobbits are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like an adventuring people who goes out and actually lives life and does stuff and isn't as checked out of the world as everybody else.
That's a good way
is.
to say it.
And
Okay.
so,
Yeah, as far as that goes,
yes.
I'd agree. It's like,
so I was right. Thank you.
I think we can accept that as far as it
Thank
goes.
you. That's as good as I'll get, so I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll
but
take it.
yeah, it's really fascinating. Like
Mhm.
the history, it is just like a bit of history about the hobbits.
Yeah.
But it's super relevant because Tolkien is saying this is a borderland. Like this whole like country, this band between the forest and the Shire, when you cross the river, is a threshold.
Mhm.
Like you're getting ready to go somewhere else. And
Yeah.
these hobbits, we'll see like in later chapters, like they're not as adventurous as they used to be.
No.
But they're like head and shoulders above other hobbits in
Mhm.
terms of adventurousness.
Comparatively, they're absolutely cooking.
Yes.
Is that what kids say? Is that how the phrase goes?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. So you already said it very well.
Mhm.
Is like these are hobbits who are still adventurous, and it's interesting. You're probably gonna bring it up in a minute anyhow, but
Oh,
I'll beat you to
probably.
it. Is you cross the river to get
Bruh,
there.
that's the last line. I was letting you get a word in before I got there, but
Yeah.
yes, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and Sam, it's interesting. I think it might have been in the last chapter,
Mm-hmm.
but Sam feels very ominous crossing this river. Everyone else has crossed it. He's never been this far away from home before.
If I go one more step from home,
If I
it'll
take
be
one
the
more ferry,
furthest
no.
from home I've ever been.
Yeah.
Have you watched the?
Yes.
That's such a
He's
good
referring to
video.
this video where whenever Sam takes a step, it plays that whole clip.
Yes,
It's don't watch it. It's too long.
So good. It's like it's way too long. But every time Sam takes a step on screen in the Fellowship, or maybe it's the entire trilogy, it
I think
replays that
he
whole
just did it
clip.
for Fellowship of the Ring.
I hope
Boy.
so.
But
Somebody's
anyway.
really funny. But yes, that's where that.
Anyway, this is
that
a
idea came
threshold
from.
place, and you're seeing that even in the history being told there,
Yes.
which is, I think, a very artful way of moving the story forward and like cluing us in on what's happening.
Yeah. This is history that is used to good effect.
Yeah.
I would argue some of the history in chapter 2, probably a little bit too much, and some of the history in chapter 7, a little too
Fascinating.
much.
We'll talk
A
about
little
that.
too
I
much.
wonder what you're going to say.
I don't honestly have that much to say because it was mercifully brief. But
I think what we can agree on is what's here is direct.
it was good. It was
So
good.
in your point and your view, that
Hyper
equals
relevant.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, hyper relevant for sure.
Yeah. much more directly relevant than some of the other information, which makes me much more directly able to appreciate it.
Well, there's no mysteries here.
Yeah.
Mysteries are good. There's none of those here, and that's fine.
Mysteries can be good.
Yes.
Yes, and I liked the way that it talked about the brandy bugs. To get there, he crosses the water, which is, a sign of cleansing, a sign of rebirth in a lot of religions, and just otherwise in Christianity especially.
Yeah, and when you're crossing the Rubicon, you can't go back. This is you're committing to the threshold, and then whatever's next, which is leaving the Shire.
Yeah,
this is like the soft leaving the Shire, because Buckland isn't really the Shire. Yeah.
There are familiar people, but it's unfamiliar territory. The next step is Bree, which is unfamiliar people in unfamiliar territory.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, going into the unfamiliar. Sorry, I interrupted you. That just reminds me.
You do this all the time.
Sorry. But one thing that's interesting is like the people in Hobbiton are telling Frodo, or like the Gaffer and others are saying, "I hope you have a good move, but folks are queer over in Buckland. Like they're weird."
Yeah.
And Maggot says, "It's a good thing you're coming back to Buckland. Those Hobbiton people are weird." And Sam's like, "No, you're weird."
Which they're both correct.
Yes.
They're just very different. They're very different. So not all hobbits are the same.
Yeah. The rest of the chapter, you're nothing else here?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rest of the chapter is about this conversation.
It is.
After we see Pippin being a little naive and rambunctious, and like they're cleaning, Pippin's just having fun in his bathtub, splashing around everywhere.
Who goes first? Oldest or fastest?
You'll be last either way, Pippin. That's funny.
Yes.
So we get that little bit, just like Pippin's continues to be characterized that way. And in stark contrast, Mary's talking about, "We got all your furniture removed here for a day. Where you guys been?" Like, Mary's on the ball. Like, he gets stuff done.
Competent.
Yes.
I like Mary. He's cool.
Yeah. So you get those two kind of characterized in contrast. And then...
And the way that they set up the house is like one-to-one bag end, essentially.
It's supposed to be homey.
Which is really nice, but as Frodo looks at that, he says, wow, that was a lot of effort for I'm not even going to stay here the night, because at that moment he wants to leave. He thinks he's going to leave that very evening. He ends up delaying, but it's another sign like Bag End is kind of pursuing him.
Oh, sure.
And he keeps pushing it off. He doesn't want that.
You have that choice or temptation. Like he even says, "It'd be great if I could just live here.
Yeah.
This looks great."
Yeah.
So in that way, it is sort of a temptation. That's a good point.
But he's got things to be about.
Yeah.
And he ultimately knows this isn't really Bag End, right? Even if he were to stay here, he would set up a relatively normal life, and then the Black Rider would kick in his door and he would die. So there's not really a point to this. It's fake. And so his journey must continue. This is not home for him. Even though it's his house, it is not his abode, which is unfortunate and very sad. But sorry. Okay. Yeah. Go back to.
I was going to start moving into discussing their whole conversation. So Frodo is just like, well, first, Mary's like, "What happened? Why was Maggot so afraid?" Also, sorry, I'm already sidetracking myself. It's not just Merry, Pippin, Sam, and Frodo here. We also have Frediger Bolger.
He is there.
Nicknamed Fatty. He's not brought up in the books, or movies, rather.
No.
That's probably fine.
But
he's a decent fellow.
He seems to be. He's a little bit dumb, but
he'd never been beyond the river either.
Yeah. And he has zero interest in being beyond the river.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So he's a neat contrast, but we can talk about him some more later. Mary's like, "What happened? Why was Maggot so scared? Why were you guys so scared? Who was that weird guy on the other side of the river?"
I wouldn't believe you, but I did see something.
Yeah,
so
that's interesting.
Tell me what that was. Yeah.
And Frodo's just like kind of brooding. He's like, "Man, I don't want to tell these people I'm leaving." And so Pippin takes the lead, and Sam chimes in every once in a while, telling the story.
Yeah. Well, Mary does.
What's that?
Oh yeah. No.
Telling
You're right,
the story.
Right.
Yeah. And like, whoa, things are kind of escalating. Like, we knew we needed to leave, Well, spoilers.
I think everybody listening knows
I'm
Frodo's
just
going
trying to like
leave.
say things progressively, but everyone's like, "Whoa, things are like kind of crazy. I thought you're just moving over here or whatever." And they're trying to say, "Okay, what's going on, Frodo?" There's a little piece about Maggot, like was Maggot's guess right that had something to do with Bilbo's treasure?
Mm-hmm.
And Frodo, we see like his reluctance to like admit he's wrong or like something like that. That's not quite the right way to phrase it. But you see,
He just wants to be careful with what he says.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot writing on this.
sure, it is interesting though that Maggot is so like astute and wise and
Mhm.
like a cut above other hobbits.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems
Might
like
be a reason
we're
for that.
beginning to be we can begin to attribute that to his adventurousness.
Mhm.
Like Mary says, "Oh, he goes into the forest sometimes."
He does
Interesting.
do that, apparently.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that some more later.
Yeah, that becomes relevant. Or it's just an interesting
Right now, just
addition.
you've been talking. We both have, but particularly you
Mhm.
talk about like the Hobbiton, the Shire is kind of like this naive like childhood place.
Yeah.
Like you can't grow up if you just stay in the Shire.
Yeah.
And Maggot is a cut above the other hobbits
Mhm.
because he doesn't stay
Yeah.
in the Shire.
Mm-hmm. True.
That's interesting. He's kind of you could be more like him. You
True.
know? It's
True.
interesting.
Yeah, Hobbiton calls Buckland queer,
Yeah.
right? Which means odd. It doesn't
Yes,
mean
strange, weird.
welcome to normal English before it got corrupted a few years ago. And so you have this idea that Buckland's weird. But then when Mary talks about the Old Forest, which he will either in just, I think at the end of chapter 5, he said, or actually when he goes into in chapter 6,
Yeah.
he calls one part of the Old Forest the actual, like, the heart of all the queerness in the world.
Yeah.
Like everything weird happens there.
Yeah.
And so it is very interesting. Buckland becomes, it's not like an anti-Hobbiton, but it's a Hobbiton if it paid attention to what was going on in the world outside.
Yeah.
It's a Hobbiton that has external influences on it,
Yes, exactly.
which for the most part is actually pretty good for them,
Mhm.
arguably. It is nice to be naive sometimes, but it's also really nice to actually be like aware and involved. And Maggot is a great example of that.
It is.
Mary is also a great example of that.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Mhm. I thought so.
Well, hey, if you don't believe in your own points, that's crazy.
Yeah. I just need other people to believe in them too.
I do most of the time.
Oh, most of the time.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to phrase that. Okay. I'm sorry. So,
No, I sidetracked myself.
yes,
I
you
was
did.
going to say, so Frodo's like, he's torn up.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, I need to tell them I'm leaving because I have to leave like
Yeah.
now or like right away in the morning. I have to tell these people because they're my friends. Like, I can't just lie to them. Also, I couldn't get away with lying to them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like tearing himself up. He's like, now that it's come to it, I don't know what to say. And then it's so funny. Mary says, well, I think I can help you out.
Yeah.
And Mary just spells out everything.
Yeah.
Says, you don't know how to tell us you want to leave, but things have gotten dangerous faster than you thought. And Frodo's
It's
completely
like,
dumbfounded.
what in the world just happened?
It's adorable.
Mhm.
It's great.
Yeah. Very childlike and innocent. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
thought I got away with it.
Yeah, and you just see Mary seems like he's like kind of the lead conspirator, but
Mhm.
definitely getting help. And we find out particularly from Sam.
Yeah.
So Sam is more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Like he's-
Mary drafted Sam, but
Yes.
Sam actually did a lot of groundwork,
Yeah, it was
which
spying, getting
Makes
information about.
groundwork because he's a gardener.
Yeah, that's very funny.
I thought it was funny. I was just making sure everybody else thought that was funny too. Sorry, I'm done
For now.
for now, for the moment.
But yeah, you just see it's just a great like moment of their friendship.
Mhm.
There's a couple good moments here. There's this hint at you're going to need more than one companion.
Yeah.
Which matches what the elves said, which
Mhm.
is take whoever's willing to go.
Yeah.
Which I think Pippin brings up or Sam brings up here in this discussion.
Okay. I missed that, but that makes sense.
And that's true. Even
Mhm.
even when things go crazy, Frodo always has two companions with him.
He always has one good one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but always has two companions with him, which
Okay.
is interesting. And usually he has more than that.
Yeah. Well, can you really say usually when it's one?
Yeah,
out of the three books?
timeline wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
Fair
though
enough.
like more text is spent with, having just Gollum and Sam. But
Yeah.
the other thing is Frodo is completely baffled and he says, "It looks like I can't trust anybody." And Mary says, "Well, it depends on what you want us to do.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to just stand by and let you go alone.
Yeah.
Because we don't think that's right.
Yeah.
So you can't trust us to let you go alone. But you
Mhm.
can't trust us to keep your secrets better than you can keep them yourself."
And
Which
stick
is
by with
usually true.
Yeah.
And stand by you till the end. Which it's just very
Which is
beautiful. It's
cool.
great.
I like Mary a lot.
Yeah.
Just the idea, because so I've read this book 10 years ago or
Mhm.
something for school back in the day.
Yeah.
A long time ago. But there are random few things that stick with me, and one of the lines is, "We are horribly afraid, but we are going with you, or we are following after you like hounds."
That's a great line.
That stuck out to me when I was like 13, and
Mhm.
I was not paying attention to much of what I was reading at 13.
Yeah.
So like that has just I like that.
It's a
That's a cool
good
picture.
it's a good line. It's
Yeah.
it's sort of like the Ruth grind set.
That's a terrible way to say
I
that.
know. But like
Yeah.
Ruth is like that's one of the most beautiful moments in the book of Ruth.
Mhm.
Is like
In the
I'll
Bible.
Go, yeah,
Yeah.
Book of Ruth in the Bible. Is I'll go wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
And it just likewise here this beautiful picture of loyalty. It's
Mhm.
like you have a heavy burden. We're not going to let you take that alone.
Yeah.
And
We're
we
going
shouldn't
with you.
let people take things like that alone.
Yeah. You can be willing and helpful in this, or you can be unwilling and unhelpful, but we're going to be there
Yes.
anyway. And friends do that to each other,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Friends can be irritating in all the best ways
Mm.
occasionally. Sometimes we're also just irritating.
That's true.
Yes. But this is good. This is towards a noble purpose.
Yeah.
And I like that. You do get here. So firstly, Mary's not stupid.
No.
Mary is very savvy.
And I think it's good that we're delayed in like really meeting him until this moment.
Yeah.
It helps him stand out some more and also highlights like how out of depth they are
Yeah.
from the get-go since
Yeah.
he's not there with them.
Yeah. You also have Pippin. I don't know. Up until this point, it has seemed like Pippin is stupid. In Chapter 5, there are two different readings of his character. One of them is that he's stupid and ripping off of other people's work, which is kind of how it's played off. That, Pippin says, well, of course we weren't, oblivious to whatever you were doing. And then he proceeds to cite how Mary did all this research and how Sam did all this research. And so it could be him just taking credit for other people's work. Right. That's absolutely a valid way to read
possible.
his lazy kind of character. It could also be that he was actually involved in this.
I think that's where I would tend. That's
Okay.
interesting. He just
Yeah.
cites what the others are doing.
Yeah. Or at least primarily. Because
I don't remember exactly.
he's like, we know all this. Like all of us know all this. And then it's really Mary telling how he figured out about the ring, and Sam telling
so Mary,
how he was
Mary
this
found out a lot
spy.
of things.
Yeah.
He saw Bilbo
Yeah.
turn invisible. He snuck a look at the book.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which no one else could get to. Apparently, that is the secret book.
Yeah.
So I don't know how involved Pippin was, but if he was involved, then that makes me question a little bit of his stupidity, because for him to be actively involved in this and not give the game away seems like smarter than he would otherwise let on.
Yeah.
You also do, because you mentioned like he's a sleepy hobbit who goes to sleep in all these different circumstances.
It's like every chapter he's falling asleep.
Yes, but in the beginning of chapter 6, he's up before Frodo is.
That's true.
And in chapter 3, he's also up before Frodo is. And so it's like, yes, he goes to sleep early, but he also like rises early.
Yeah. Frodo isn't as aware as he thinks he is either.
Yes, but I don't know. It could
That's
well be
interesting.
that Pippin is purposefully acting more stupid than he is.
So
I don't know how to read
I
that.
wouldn't say stupid.
Okay.
I think that's sort of misleading. We may disagree about that. I would say lazy instead.
Yeah.
Because he's a smart guy. He just he's not applying himself 100%.
Yeah, that's fair.
To most of the things we're seeing. Yeah, I don't think he's
That's
like
fair.
I don't think we're supposed to read that he's pretending to be asleep. But
No.
Frodo has some of the same sort of problem.
Yeah, he's definitely asleep
gotcha.
early, but he also just is awake before Frodo both times. Frodo's like,
Yeah.
all right, it's
Well,
time to go. And Pippin says, yeah, you're the one we're waiting on.
There's a couple times where Frodo wakes Pippin up.
Yeah.
Or a couple times like that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you're right. When they're leaving in the next chapter, just a little tidbit here is like, Merry says, even Pippin's awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's waking Frodo up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frodo needs more sleep than he thinks he does.
Yeah, well, he's older, you know.
He is older. He's an old man at this point. He's 50.
50, yeah.
So, getting on in years.
Yeah.
So, Mary is cool. Do you have any other stuff from that main conversation? Fredegar doesn't say anything.
No, he's not as important to the story. Yeah, we just hear. We foreshadow the danger of the forest because he says
a little bit. Yeah,
I'm not going there in a million years because they plan to go. Merry shows his competence by saying, "Well, everything's ready to go." Actually, we even have ponies over here. Like he's got everything ready.
Yeah.
But Fredegar, Fatty, he's like, I'm never going to go into the forest in a million years. And there's like an aside in the narration, like Fredegar loves Frodo. He's a great friend, but he was not ready to leave the Shire.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an anti-Ruth
telling
situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Orpha. He is Orpha.
So it's not like a huge like blow to his character necessarily, but it is a little bit in a sense, you know, like these other people are willing to go, and like maybe he could have done some good if he had. It turns out like he has a role to play by staying. Like it's interesting to think about because
he could have gone and they could have gotten somebody else to play the role.
Yeah. But he does stay behind for potential Gandalf message, which I think he actually does end up doing. We read about later.
Okay.
And sort of misleading the Black Riders, thinking Frodo's still at home, which is baller.
Would be cool. That would be cool. Interesting.
Which he would not have done if he'd known the danger.
No, and that is mentioned at the end of chapter 5.
He does do it.
Yeah. He is willing. That is cool.
Yeah. I do have one other thing. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. Merry is competent. Sam is resourceful. Pippin likes looking smart. And Frodo has his companions. That's what I have written.
Yeah, Frodo is reluctant.
Yes.
We'll see, like, his nobility of spirit is brought up some more. So far, the only, like, really positive thing we've seen is, like, when push came to shove and Gandalf says, you have this heavy burden. Yeah. Frodo was freaked out, but he said, I'll take this.
Yeah.
Which is notable, but
he'll commit to things and then figure out what exactly that means and then what time frame am I actually willing to commit to this on. And it always ends up being solid but last minute.
Yes. The last thing I had, I think it's interesting.
Okay.
So, I was gonna be shocked if you didn't bring this up, so I want to see if you bring it up.
Maybe. Is it about the dream?
Yeah.
Okay, I have something on the dream.
Okay, I'm sure you did.
In just a minute, but the Fredegar thing, because it says Fredegar is going to stay behind. He's going to play act as Bilbo or as Frodo.
Frodo.
He's got Frodo's old clothes. He's going to pretend to be Frodo for a little while to dissuade curiosity and mislead. And it does say if he had known how dangerous it was going to be, he might not have signed up for it. Very reminiscent of what Gildor said in chapter 3, which is if you knew what the Black Riders were, you would not be going anywhere. And so it turns out that ignorance is bliss and very useful for plans. Gildor does that purposefully to Frodo, and then Frodo's not able to tell Fredegar all these things about the Black Riders, so Fredegar does actually end up being a tool that is very useful and misleads them. Evidently from later on. If Gildor had told Frodo, even if Frodo had continued on, then his whole alibi would have been blown afterwards. So
that's a good point.
Cool on Gildor. I guess he's not as
No,
horrible.
he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
I like him.
he's acceptable for an elf, as they say.
Oh my goodness.
So, what is this about the dream? You go ahead.
Oh, well, it's very interesting.
It is
It's
very
like,
interesting.
It's the night before he leaves the Shire. He has
Yes.
this dream about the sea
Yes.
and like climbing up this tower, this elven tower, to see the sea.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. Like, this is like the first sort of prophetic dream. There's actually gonna be another one in our next episode, I think.
Yeah.
But
I
which is
said
interesting.
like I forgot about
There's
it.
like,
yeah.
I think there's like 3 prophetic dreams, and like 2 of them are Frodo's, and they're like right here at the beginning.
Interesting.
One of them's about Frodo, but we'll talk about that later. But the sea, we talked a lot about this like earlier on.
Mhm.
I think we sort of had a gap with the last episode or so.
Yeah.
But the sea really is this transition place, because
Mhm.
you test yourself against the sea, you journey over it in order to go into the west.
Yeah.
Which is like strictly true for the elves and like thematically true for everyone else.
Yeah. It's representative, at least.
Yeah. And so I think in some way, like, it's a bookend, because Frodo's leaving the Shire. When he comes back to the Shire, he's going to say, I'm not at home here. I need to go on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, it sort of represents like, this is like the big moment of transition for him. Like,
Yeah.
you can like say accurately, okay, Buckland's basically the Shire, even though it's not. But
Close.
when he wakes up
Pretty
and
close.
goes into the forest,
Then it's over.
he's completely outside the Shire.
And there is no coming back at that point. Buckland, he could stick around for a while. But
Yes.
there is.
It's that last temptation, like
yeah.
you said.
So basically, in summation, you would say that the sea is always right.
Well, I had not thought about it that way.
Exactly. So Rings of Power is canonical.
Is that a line
That's
in the
the
Rings of Power?
Numenorian thing.
The sea is always right.
Yeah. Isildur, like,
Oh my
or whatever,
goodness.
their knockoff version
We
of
could
Isildur
be talking about other things right
stands there. And do you not remember
No,
season
I
1? All the
burned that from my
Numenorians are
memory.
like chanting, "The sea is always right," as they're out on the seashore. And then later in that episode, Isildur's father, I just forgot his name, Elendil, is like, "Man, my wife drowned." The sea is always right, I guess. I don't really know.
Snap.
So
I don't remember this.
I hate Rings of Power so much.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say about the dream?
No, it's just cool. He doesn't actually see the water.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
that's a good point.
He hears the call of the sea,
He hears
as it were.
Yes.
He hears it and he smells it and he wants to go and see it. But as he starts to climb the tower to actually see it,
That's
he
right.
doesn't get to. And so there's like this longing to
Not yet.
go out and do something. It's almost, I'm not sure exactly. I don't know exactly when you would peg his real journey beginning, but I wonder if that's a reference to like Rivendell and such. The White Tower seems to be reminiscent of Elven.
Yeah.
Something or
So
other.
remember, Sam said earlier, like chapter 2,
Mhm.
if you go outside the Shire to the west,
Yeah.
there's the towers,
Yeah.
Tower Hills,
Yeah.
where there's ancient elf towers,
Mhm.
and you can go up there and see the sea.
Yeah.
So I think it's referring to those towers in the Tower
Okay.
Hills.
It could be. But if we're thinking about the sea as like this journey, the great journey,
Yeah.
essentially, he thinks the great journey starts as he goes into the old forest. It really doesn't start until he hits Rivendell and then goes out from
Yeah.
there.
That is another
That's the
threshold.
main
Yeah.
transition point
Mhm.
in many ways. It's when he commits to it for the long haul, not just getting it out of the Shire.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if the one tower, before you can actually see anything, I wonder if that's representative of getting to an elven
this is
city.
very metaphorical, but
It is.
perhaps.
I have no idea. He has to like get to the sea. He has to get to the tower,
Mhm.
and that's his thing. And ultimately, that becomes the goal at the end, because his even when he returns at the end of Return of the King, he doesn't stay at his house in
Yeah.
Hobbiton. He continues on
Yeah.
to the towers in the sea.
That's
So
right.
it's very. It'll wrap up very nicely
It is.
in
It's-
1,000 pages or whatever.
It's really neat
whatever it
that
is.
like here we are on the Fellowship of the Ring, and it is foreshadowing
Yeah.
this like far off ending.
It's almost like J.R.R. Tolkien put this all together and then edited it a lot and then was forced to release it or something.
Something like that.
So
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is all I have, though.
That's all I have for 4 and 5.
That's pretty good.
Hey, we're timely folks, is what they say.
We're great.
Yeah, we're like timely folks, is what they say. So that's Fellowship of the Ring, chapters 4 and 5. Next time, I think since we put these 2 together, we should be able to put chapters 6 and 7 together.
I think so.
As well.
They're a little longer, but...
So next episode, we'll plan for chapters 6 and 7, which is the Old Forest, and then In the House of Tom Bombadil, which are interesting, and we'll see that next time. So
yes.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next episode.